On this particular morning, I was searching for this strange and unusual fruit I'd heard was good in a permaculture planting.
Where's the bunnies, Banch? Go find a bunny. Go on, get the bunnies. Where's the bunnies? Where's the bunnies? Go get one.
So while Banjo was hunting bunnies, I decided to go around the village and hunt for this fruit. And on my search, I happened upon a couple other kinds of unusual fruits.
So this is one of the few pawpaw trees at Dancing Rabbit, and it's also the first one I've ever seen that was fruiting. You can kind of see in there, there's a bunch of fruit. Pretty cool looking, strange looking. And supposedly it has a flavor that's sort of a combination of a banana and a cantaloupe. Tropical, and it's related to tropical fruits, but it's a temperate region fruit.
It didn't seem to be in this part of the village, so I moved on.
This is the fig tree that I took my cuttings from, and you can see it actually has figs on it, but they're not very close to being ripe, but usually they do ripen by the end of the season. And this thing died all the way back to the ground last winter, and all this is new growth from just this season. You can see the dead trunks from last year. But I'm hoping that if my fig trees are in the hoop house, that they won't die back to the ground like this every year. And then I'll get a lot more productivity, and they might fruit earlier, because these things have to grow and then decide to set fruit. But it's pretty amazing they can do that in just one season.
And at last I found it right at my own doorstep.
Just wanted to introduce you, if you don't know this fruit already. It's called Rugosa rose, and it's a rose hip. It looks a lot like a pomegranate, like a mini pomegranate, which they are related, but it's nothing like it as far as its edibility. You actually eat this flesh around the outside, and it's got seeds inside that are not edible, and so you have to separate the seeds from the flesh. But it's very sweet, and like I said, most rose hips are much smaller than this, and the Rugosa rose, not only does it have these big edible hips, but it's got a beautiful scented flower, like amazing rose scented flower that happens earlier in the season, and it will just fill this whole area with the scent of rose. But rose hips are good for tea. Like, you could dry this down and use it in tea. You can just eat it straight like this, and it's sweet and delicious, and high in vitamin C, apparently. Super easy to grow. I basically found one of these plants that was growing in a different part of Dancing Rabbit, and I just sort of cut off a section of it, kind of like you would a raspberry runner. Replanted it over here in my garden, and they need full sun. They thrive in full sun, and the one that was over there did not have full sun, and I put it over here, and now it's just huge, and it's kind of taking over. You have to control it because it just spreads slowly. They not only have these beautiful pink purplish flowers on them, but then they form these big rose hips that I don't really know of another rose variety that has such huge rose hips. So a great addition to any temperate region permaculture planting. Easy to fit in anywhere, and it will produce these abundant rose hips. This season was not the best for it because we didn't have enough water to keep it well watered. It would have produced a lot more, but it's still, in a season where I didn't water it at all, it was so dry. Still got plenty of fruit off of it, and I think kids have been coming by also and eating off of it because they know that these are good, delicious fruits.
Well, that Rugosa rose was worth the search. The great thing about them is that they come in many different colors, and they all smell amazing. So you might want to try them out in your garden.
Where's bunnies? Go get a bunny. Go get the bunnies. Go get them.
Thanks for tuning in to Hardcore Sustainable. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share and give a thumbs up to the video. And I'll see you next time.